Tinubu can no longer even cognitively align his thoughts to make coherent sense. Would you want such a man who is blah blah, Buhari, church rat, eating unpoisoned Holy Communion? God bless PDAPC, a non-existent party. Would you want such a man who has become a food for comedians and creating comic relief to stand shoulder by shoulder to other presidents in the world?
So, guys, I don't know the kind of president you want to have, after 2023 election. What kind of president are you dreaming of having? Is it the type that speaks, the way Tinubu does today? Tinubu is losing his brain. Tinubu is now talking out of his senses. That is why APC cannot provide him during the presidential town hall meetings, and they are not even planning to come for a debate. What kind of president, fellow Nigerians, are you hoping to get after 2023 election? Please, we have missed it all this while. Let's not miss it again. Voting Buhari into power was the biggest mistake that, Nigerians, please, let's not repeat that mistake again. Tinubu is already showing that, his cognitive is really, deteriorating. Tinubu is already showing that, his cognitive power is really deteriorating. So let's not make the mistake of voting him into power. Lest, he will not be the one in charge. And, these present APC cabals, they will still continue in governance and Nigeria will keep sinking down. Let's make a change. If you have not joined the obedient family, please, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Join the obedient family. Let us all vote for Peter Obi. If you're an obedient out there, please, have you gotten your PVC? Please go get your PVC and let's get ready to send all these old politicians packing. So guys, let me allow you watch this video and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends and families, and above all, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.
Support base for Mr. Peter Obi, who has been criticized heavily of lacking a proper structure, political structure to win the presidential election in Nigeria. These growing influences, what are the chances, real chances of the Labour Party, a party that is witnessed more than ever before this kind of influence at the center? Perhaps it has not gotten this kind of opportunity to fly its color in this magnitude in the last few years. And the issues raised in this election also get our attention. In the last few days of the campaign, Mr. Kennet Okonkwo, a lawyer, actor, and spokesperson of the Peter Obi presidential campaign organization. He joins me live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you, viewers at home, for joining us.
I guess you must be grinning in the waiting room when you were listening to the endorsement from someone like Mr. Babachi Lawal. How does that come to your principle and your party?
Well, it is very exciting. It is a confirmation to what I've always told you, that Peter Obi is the only option. And this was the conclusion that Babachi Lawal reached. That after deliberations, they came to the inevitable conclusion that the only option was Obi Dati presidential ticket, because it represented the equity, justice, and fairness, which is the foundation that the competence, character, and capacity of these two gentlemen will be built on. The reason why at least Atiku Abubakar was feeding them with ethnic jingoism, Northerners should support the North, when they have not even seen any benefit that their Northern Muslim brothers have been governing them. Whereas Tinubu has caused the greatest disaffection and division amongst them on religious line. Peter Obi went to the North and offered them immediate, decisive, and long-lasting security. P2B offered them that farmers will go back to the farm and that the north will be turned to the next oil and gold. P2B offered them that there will be a Marshall Plan for education that will make the federal government intervene in collaboration with the state government and international community to ensure that in the north you have free access, easy access and affordable access to education that will transform north from being the region that has the greatest out of school children from school to becoming a wonderful section that is education compliant. P2B offered them that there would be an incentivization of the resuscitation of the cotton and textile industry, which has been moribund, and that the value chain, cattle value chain, they will be obtaining their $1 billion share out of the $75 billion in 2025. P2B offered them expansion of the infrastructure, solar energy, wasting in the north, etc. But above all, P2B assured them of adequate representation and equitable appointment in all sectors of the economy. Equitable appointment meaning the Muslims and the Christians will be adequately represented in his government because he is coming in under the foundation of equity, justice and fairness.
I mean, you're a lawyer, so you understand the chapter 2 of the Constitution, where it talks about the values and the ethos that brought this nation together, and those who feel religion and ethnicity has been used as tool to divide this country and its politics for far too long. How does it make you feel as a person, knowing full well that these two tools again had reared its head in our politics just as the election is coming?
Oh yes, that is the sad point of it. Initiated by Atiku Abubakar and Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar could not even allow a tweet that was written for him, like every other thing is written for him and Bola Tinubu, including their manifestos, which they do not even know the content. He could not even allow the tweet that condemned the burning alive of a young northern Christian lady, Deborah Samuel, just because of religious bigotry. How do you expect these people to support you? Bola Tinubu came out publicly to say, no northern Christian has the capability, the competence, the capacity to be his deputy. What an insult. They have balkanized this nation into ethnic and religious divisions.
So you do not support anybody using those tools?
I resigned from APC. Basically, the immediate cause was the Muslim ticket. In a nation that has more than 100 million Christians.
But what about...
how do you...
Just a moment. Your candidate has been going to churches.
Yes.
And those who have criticized here said, look, this is what we're talking about. Those who are using the churchy and the mosque and the ethnic tools and those kind of tools to impress the people. Should we use those kind of tools anyways in our politics?
My candidate is not using any tool. He's a Christian. So he goes to churches. Dati Baba Ahmed is a Muslim. He goes to mosques. We are everywhere. Who will go to the church in APC? That is the whole idea of participation, involvement, giving people sense of belonging.
Should you be using the church platforms to preach for your party or your candidacy?
No.
That's the question.
You go to your church. And that when he goes to church,
I'm asking
he goes to worship
question,
God.
Oh, I mean, because
yes.
Equity, I mean, you have explained that tonight, that you don't think that ethnicity and religion should be brought into our politics. But the question is that your candidate is seen going to churches also. Should we be using these religious platforms at all for any form of politicking?
Well, you're missing the point. Democracy is a representative government. Christians should be represented. Muslims should be represented in accordance with our constitution, that you don't leave anybody behind. P2B goes to church to worship God, does not go to church to campaign for politics. Just like Dati Ahmed goes to mosque to worship God. And that is the beauty of participation. So everybody should be actively integrated according to the constitution of Nigeria. So in politics, it's about representation. Then going to church is about worshiping God. In APC, nobody will go to church. In the presidency, to worship God. unfortunately, and is unacceptable to Nigeria, the Nigerian constitution, the Nigerian people. And the Northern Christians are rightly rejecting that ticket. And not just the Northern Christians, even the Northern Muslims. Because in Islam, the worship of God, there are 4 reasons for the writing of the Quran, but I'll just take one, which is the promulgation of the worship of God and the essentials of justice. In Islam, it is not allowed that you should denigrate or destroy the integrity of any religion or any party. In any multinational, multi-religious society, Islam welcomes justice. No true Muslim will support APC Muslim ticket, and you can quote me on that.
Let's look at what this means. If you can summarize what the endorsement for the APC was said. Look, Babachi Lawa and his friends, politically speaking, in fact, they've criticized that some of them are not even capable of winning their local government for the party in any ways. They've used the party platform for their own gains. So they really, according to them, they said they don't care to respond to the agitation of the Babachi Lawa and his friends who are agitated about the same faith ticket.
Good. Now, you know what? I heard one spokesperson of APC sitting down here denigrating the Secretary General of Northern Elders Forum that they do not even have up to 10% of the Northern support. In Labour Party, P2B wants to carry everybody along. We need that 10% because we don't want to leave anybody behind. Let me tell you, the greatest undoing of the APC candidate is in his unguided and unsalutary method of trying to play God. Remember, we talk about the Lord of Bodleian, and he has an uncanny relationship with the king of Babylon, the city of corruption. Recall that Nebuchadnezzar said that he built the hanging gardens of Babylon, not God. And God warned him, be humble and give respect to me, and he refused. And God struck him and he became a human monkey. This is a presidential candidate who is arrogating to himself that he is God. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. That's a blasphemy in Quran and in Christianity. That was the first time he fell out with Babachi Lawa. Babachi Lawa said, don't play God. You are arrogant. And that was what fell out between him and Rauf Aregbe Shola Ogbeni, who said, you are playing God. And it is not supposed to be so. Remember what Rauf said when the Osun election was concluded. He was abroad. And he said, he quoted the Bible. All powers are ordained by God. And he giveth it to whoever he wishes, including the basest of men. But look at Bola Tinubu claiming that he is God. Whoever votes for Bola Tinubu is not a true Christian or a true Muslim, because he has blasphemed the Quran and blasphemed the Bible. In Quran, they said, all powers belong to Allah, and Allah giveth it to whomsoever he wishes. If President Buhari supports Bola Tinubu, he is not a true Muslim, because Bola Tinubu has said he single-handedly made Buhari president, which is a blasphemy in Islam. That is what is killing them. They don't have respect for people. Babachi Lawa told you that Tinubu is already feeling that he is the president because he is playing God. In the whole Yoruba land, he said it is his turn when it comes to Yoruba land. Who told him that? Ayo Adebanjo, the revered leader of Afenifere, was in Ibadan, the capital of the Southwest, to tell the Southwest that P2B is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever you go to, in any pool you want to describe, P2B is the chosen person because he's a man of character, capacity, and competence. And his candidacy is built on a foundation of equity, fairness, and justice.
I mean, so aside this, the endorsement, and I saw what happened yesterday in Ibadan, was that outing an impressive one as far as you're concerned?
Very fantastic. I've not seen such level of loyalty. Remember, our jet was grounded. Those people were there from 9 a.m. in the morning, and by 5 p.m. they were still eager to wait for their next president. I was so pleasantly surprised.
How was your jet grounded?
Oh, it was grounded for regulatory reasons. There was unfortunate issue of the documentation not updated the way it ought to be updated, and that is coming from the vendor, because this is between the vendor and the federal government. And you recall that my principal, one of his cardinal points on the 7-point agenda, is restructuring through effective legal and institutional reforms that will prevent corruption, maintain rule of law, and ensure effective governance. So if it is regulatory, it means there might be an order or a law or a rule which may have not been confirmed to. And my principle will be the last to encourage any desecration of the law, no matter how small, even though it was a political ambush. Because why wait until the morning of our proceeding to Ibadan before you ground our jet on a documentary thing that you should have just called?
So you think it's political?
There is a political witch hunt under the regulatory reason, because you could have just called them and dialogued over it. When you're dealing with a political opponent, you have to be very careful. But we're not complaining, because we are a rule of law party, and my principal is not willing to breach any law. When he comes to governance, he's going to strictly adhere to the rule of law. So I am not going to tell you that my principal will not do the same thing if he is the president, but he is going to be mindful that when dealing with political opponents, you have to give them notice. You don't have
my guest yesterday, and this is a way of us just summarizing and wrapping up this conversation. My guest yesterday said that considering what the governor of Anambra said about your candidate, that no one will buy him I wanted to quote verbatim what he said.
Yeah.
But if you watch the program, you understand exactly what the man said.
Yes, I did.
Based on the testimony of the governor of Anambra State, that, and he has said it in the article that he released, that in some way that Peter Obi is helping Bola Tinubu to win the election.
He said he's challenging Mbafo. So bikono rap Nwambafo ogbala asele jebe na afia.
English is that
you know what? Nwambafo is those local gossips. That's why you hear Mbeke Mbafo, local gossips. So he said he is Nwambafo, meaning the son of a local gossip. So allow him to continue his gossip in Afo market.
As a governor of the state.
That is because he reduced himself to scavenging on the excreta of the social media.
Doesn't he have the right to express his opinion?
His opinion
about the state of the race.
His opinion
you
must
can
be
as well say that your candidate will win against the other candidate. That's you have a right and the freedom to express your opinion.
That is not even the problem. The problem, when you were questioning him, was he said investment meant nothing. We're not talking about that was what generated the issue.
What if that is the case?
No, it is not the case, because in his own letter in paragraph 14, 15, 16, he was eulogizing his own investment. How can your own investment be good and another person's investment is bad? That's political witch hunt. That is double standards. That's lacking in character. That is lacking in wisdom. He's a man in search of character, in lack of character and in lack of wisdom, by a professor, or his name or her name is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Let's wrap up now,
yes.
And in just about 15 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If you look at how your candidate, I'm very sure that you're already sitting and analyzing how he's going to win. If you're analyzing how Peter Obi is going to win this election, by what margin and where do you think he will put the surprise?
Oh, well, like I said, he's becoming a phenomenon. He's becoming the Nigerian candidate. When I sat here and told you we have all the structures, people were saying that I was just jiving. Today is no longer a jive. The whole Muslims are with them. Yes, because the whole Muslims cannot understand why a Tinubu can no longer even cognitively align his thoughts to make coherent sense. Would you want such a man who is blah, blah, Buhari, church rat, eating unpoisoned Holy Communion? God bless PDAPC, a non-existent party. Would you want such a man who has become a food for comedians and creating comic relief to stand shoulder by shoulder to other presidents in the world? No, it is not acceptable.
We're out of time. But thank you so much, Kenneth, for coming tonight. Kennet Okonkwo is the spokesperson.
Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends and families, and above all, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.